go. And for those on the stream, let's go in game. Here we are, guys. Welcome to game number 2 between BacT and Slam in the first round of the Elimination Draft tournament main event. I'm joined once again by T90, and I'll let you take it away and introduce the players, or the civs.
All right. In the blue on the left side of the map, we have Slam playing as the Celts. In the red, we have BacT playing as the Berbers. And I'm excited for this one. Slam, convincing win last time around. And we'll see what he does this time. Notice in both games, Slam has gone for an AOC civilization. Might be because he's more comfortable with the civilization. Or maybe because, in this case, he likes some of the eco bonuses applied to Celts or something like that. I don't know, because obviously there's a lot of bonuses involved. But anyway, let's look at the map. First of all, the map is Ghost Lake. You can see a lot of ice in the middle. Slam has a main gold above his TC, and there's also a secondary gold there as well. To the left of that, both stones for Slam. Now, a wood line's forward for him. That one on the left with the stone's going to probably be a little bit too far away for him to gather from, at least in the early game. And then there is one on the back. But all in all, this is a pretty good map for Slam. He's even taking the opportunity to lure in these deer nice and close to the TC so he can get the extra economy boost. And now we'll look at BacT's map. BacT has a woodline behind his TC, and then he has a main gold in the back as well, but that is on a hill, so he's going to probably want to set up some walls, and I don't think he will have any issues doing that. Apart from that, just glancing around, he does have that secondary gold forward where his scout is now. And then he does have both of his stones in the back as well. Going into this one, I know a lot about Ghost Lake and the metagame here, so I wouldn't be surprised if Slam drushes and then tries to fast castle. I'm not sure what BacT will try and do, because going forward on a map like this is not so easy sometimes. But saying that there's a lot of ice next to both town centers, so maybe that's an area they can't lock down with walls. And we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm interested to see how Slam's going to wall this one up, given where his gold and his wood is. He's actually gone for the wood line at the front because, okay, it is forward, but it's also a lot closer than the other options. I think a wood line down over here in the south might end up being safer, but it does depend on how he walls it up and where he starts to build the buildings. Both players have pretty open maps, especially BacT. BacT's map has got literally nothing on the front that acts as a natural wall. It's just completely open, and he's going to have to find some way to wall this off. It might have to be quite a long palisade. It might have to be quite an elaborate one. Maybe he'll come up towards this cliff line on the left-hand side, and maybe use this tree line on the right to kind of make a funnel towards his TC. But it is very open, that's for sure, and that's going to be, maybe a problem later on. But for the early game, at least, I think BacT might have a slightly better map due to the fact his gold is in the back behind his town center, and he can quite easily wall off the back areas here as well with a couple of palisades. Slam, however, I mean, his gold, again, I mean, I'm wondering how he's going to wall this without really walling the gold out of his map, because there's really nothing out here that he can use to wall from, apart from the tree line on the front, which is where he's got his villagers. But when he comes to wall this, he's got to do it in a way that's going to either protect the gold or somehow protect the villagers on the wood, and they could be very exposed from raiding archer units later down the line. So we might see some early aggression to give the players some breathing room to get walls up and plan their base structure a little bit more. And we see already Slam now moving out, looking to scout BacT a little bit, and BacT as well. Looking to find where Slam is. BacT does have better scouting info right now, but that is because Slam has pushed the deer towards his TC, and BacT doesn't actually have the deer patch too close by. They're behind his wood line here, so Slam may be going to get an early boost because of that, and that could set him up nicely for a drush, which is exactly what we're going to see as that barracks starts to come up from Slam right now.
Yeah, I really like Slam's position here, Zach. You talked about the deer. He lured in 2 deer, so he has that food boost. BacT does not have that yet. Also, the berry position for BacT, this may not seem like a big deal to those watching the stream, but the berries are forward for BacT, and that's going to be the first place that Slam will try and hit. It looks as though BacT is going to be... I assume he's going Feudal Age. He's going to try and go to Feudal Age attack, so he's going to need that extra food. from the berries. He could wall it off, but you never want your berries forward against the drush because that's the first place they will go.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to go straight towards the berries here, and that's going to push back to way on the front. Maybe he'll build a little wall between the berries and the wood line on the right, and then take them from the back. But what did you see?
We're wrong about the drush, by the way. It looks as though Slam is going to up, and he is doing something with that barracks, and something we saw last game. However, we saw it from BacT. I'm guessing he will go man-at-arms. Trying to figure this out, because he only has 1 on gold with the mining camp at the moment, but he is making militia.
Yeah, Shu is on the other foot right now, for sure.
Yeah.
But only a single militia coming out. No more being queued just yet. A second villager going out to gold, though. So it looks like it would be a typical man-at-arms build. I think, man-at-arms these days is definitely a little bit more popular than just a standard drush. I think players much more often preferring to go feudal and then for the man-at-arms. Now, I like the way that BacT is walling this here at the front. He's actually walling quite far out so that he can protect his berries, and that's pretty sensible. And you got a question now whether maybe if Slam had gone for a drush instead of the fast feudal potentially into man-at-arms, he might have got here a little sooner and disrupted this walling from BacT a little easier. We can also see the wall up towards the cliff like we kind of might have thought earlier on. So BacT here actually doing a pretty good job of walling up for now, and Slam's going to see that as well as he comes in with the militia and scout. And I wonder if that might influence his decision and basically cause him to stop making any militia at all right now.
Yeah, that looked like a fake from Slam, maybe? I mean, he put the barracks up early enough where he faked us out. So maybe he was hoping that BacT would scout that and put up these massive walls, because that does add up. Stable for BacT nonetheless. He knows he's safe for now. Actually, he's safe with the exception of that one wood line behind. You'll see a 1 tile gap, but that's not going to be an issue for now.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm guessing, I haven't looked yet. You may have already looked. I'm guessing Slam's going to go 2 ranges. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
2 archery ranges. And that's why he wants a gold, I guess. He's walling up as well. And Zach, I have to say, I'm surprised by Slam's decision to do this. Normally, I would expect a drush from him, but with the way he has his wall set up, I think he'll be able to defend from scouts easily.
Yeah, he's made a very quick switch here away from the drush. And, he started building the barracks at 6 minutes 30, which is basically a standard drush timing for the barracks. Then he went fast feudal and queued a militia, which certainly made us think that he was going for that man-at-arms kind of play. But no, he's instead just making 1 militia, maybe trying to throw BacT off a little bit, maybe just realizing, actually, I want to change my strat here midway through. And he's going to go ahead and build a couple of archery ranges and start getting the archers out, which is pretty common for the Celts, really. I mean, the Celts meta game is generally to go into crossbows in the Castle Age and then transition later on into something else, generally Woad Raiders, depending if you can get a castle up or not. But crossbows not really a long-term plan for the Celts, but I don't know. We're talking a little bit too far ahead right here. We should really focus on the Feudal Age. And that's going to be BacT coming in with these scouts. But is he going to be able to do anything at all? I think it's unlikely, as Slam did have enough time to wall this up fully on this left-hand side. And he did so in a way that he did still have access to that gold. So it was quite a big wall, but it was really necessary in this situation.
Yeah, definitely necessary, because the scouts have the early advantage, but once the archers mass and the archers can do a little bit more, just because of the ghost-like meta, which tends to be walls like this, getting to the castle age as soon as possible, not a lot of aggression. I question the decision for BacT, just because when you make 3 scouts like that, it does slow down your uptime, and now he's going to be making skirmishers, which will defend against the archers, but he's already walled, and he's not going to do anything offensively with those skirmishers. So it just seems to me like Slam in both games so far has been looking for the economic advantage in every way he can. And I could be wrong. He's sending out the archers now. We'll see what BacT does, but I'm guessing that Slam will at least have the fastest castle time once we get there.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, right now, Slam has got, I'm just looking, 2 farmers, while BacT has already
not
got...
near as many.
Yeah, already got 4 up. So, but I think, Slam was taking advantage of the deer for longer. He still has a lot of sheep as well. So we'll have to wait and see in a couple of minutes just how the farms are looking. But, typically speaking, with BacT going into scouts and skirms, he's going to be seeding more farms a little sooner in theory, since he's going to have less villagers taking gold. In fact, right now, he's only just moving his first villager to take gold, which does kind of balance his economy a bit more in favor of food. So Slam
Yeah.
moving out across the map. And right now, I mean, there is a hole in BacT's wall, I think, between the palisade and the house, but I really don't think Slam's going to be able to find a way in. And I don't think he's going to be able to find anything across a wood line either. In fact, if anything, he's just going to find BacT's army and immediately retreat away, or lose a few archers here, because he's actually getting a little surrounded by this. This is a nice little maneuver by BacT, in fact.
Yeah, it's so funny. I try and predict the way things are going to go, and then BacT is like, no, this is exactly how I planned it. We don't need to push out with these skirmishers. We just want to kill as many archers as possible. Good micro there for Slam, but honestly, he's going to have to go back.
He's actually got a surprisingly large amount done with his single scout cavalry, actually. Did a lot of damage onto those skirms for free. And I noticed BacT brought in a spearman, but he got focused down by the archers. So Slam taking the fight quite well, to be honest, but certainly not a fight he wants to take without any micro. He would certainly come out worse for wear. And in fact, he's going to go get himself trapped up here in the corner of the map, or at the north of the map. And that's going to be bad news for him. So Slam can say goodbye to this army right now. And BacT here, for now, going to have the map control, but what does that really mean? At this stage, not a lot, because he can't do anything with it, but he's still going to take out some valuable units from Slam. They're units which he's not going to have saved up to be upgraded when he does get up to the Castle Age. But I think we're going to see the majority of the action in the Castle Age here. I don't think players are going to overcommit too much to this Feudal Age aggression. Slam keeping his archery ranges busy, but I just expect he'll keep these archers at home until he's up to Castle and he can upgrade them to crossbows.
Yeah, that's what he should do now, especially there's skirmishers out in the field, so it only makes sense. And what's the next move for players in these situations? Well, stone wall maybe, and they're coming up now on the left-hand side, as Slam is going to try and hold the right-hand side with his archery ranges. I do want to just touch on a couple things. So that wood line forward for Slam, if BacT does go ranged units, that's going to be troublesome for him. That one on the back as well could be harassed by crossbows or any ranged units. So the way BacT has his wood lines, or sorry, Slam has his wood line set up at least, they can all be harassed. So he's going to have to win some fights.
Yeah, once he gets to the Castle Age, he's definitely going to want to start moving into a little bit more aggressive play style rather than just keeping his archers back at home. But, for now, he can't really engage the skirms very well. Once he gets crossbow and bodkin, he could engage them as long as they don't get upgraded to elite. And also, Slam, since he's building these walls, he's not going to have enough stone for a second TC once he does hit the Castle Age. I know we're talking a lot about the Castle Age, but that's really just because we don't really expect much else to happen whilst they're still in Feudal at the moment. And, Slam, once he does get to Castle, I know he's moved one villa over to stone. I expect we might see a university or a siege workshop coming down, so we can go for either ballistics or get a quick mangonel and start to pressure BacT over at the other side of the map. BacT going straight into stable, though, another stable, researching bloodlines now, showing his hand a little bit more as he's halfway up to the Castle Age already. This is a good time for him.
I was way wrong. I wasn't even close to being right on that one. Slam's going to be first to the Castle Age. Nope.
Well, it's clicked up.
Yeah, I mean, just forget about that prediction there, guys. Just we'll cut that out of the video later on. But anyway, regardless, I think Slam's going to have plenty of time to upgrade his units, and we will see a nice fight in the middle. 2 stables, like you said, for BacT, and he's going to be tossing out a ton of knights, and also a villager running forward as well. So I imagine he might go for that forward siege workshop.
Yeah, maybe tempted by that, or maybe just, throwing out a Sneakville for later on, who knows. But for now, Slam actually making a push out, and he does have enough archers that he can win the fight versus the skirms, just because of sheer numbers. But BacT knows, okay, Slam's going to commit to archers. It's pretty standard for the Celts to do this, and he's just preparing the 2 stable knights, which for the Berbers is a very good option, since their knights are cheaper, if I'm not mistaken, and that's going to allow him to do 2 stable stable knights quite comfortably. As soon as he hits the castle age, his economy is set up perfectly for this. Lots and lots of farms, lots of villagers on gold, and we might even see a second TC quite soon as well, because he's got quite a surplus of wood. So we should expect to see BacT taking the map control back, and Slam, although he pushed out, had to retreat his army back home whilst he waits for those upgrades to come in.
Yeah, this is looking pretty good for BacT now. Slam needs a moment to upgrade these units, but the knights are coming out already, and they do have chain barding armor, so that is a very strong upgrade. BacT for the moment looking to push forward, I think, with those resources he has in the bank, and he's building that Mangonel, already having the siege workshop up. Slam going as far as running his archers back into his base and walling up again because he does not want to engage these knights yet. But I'm happy we're going to see some aggression on the front. We even have a monastery from BacT. So a siege and monks and knights going to be strong.
Yeah, I like this. He comes in, gets a villager kill on the wood line. Like you said, it is exposed, and it's going to be a problem once more ranged units come in. Maybe we weren't expecting a Mangonel to get the kill, but it will do. And Slam here, meanwhile, going for the upgrade straight away. He's got Bodkin, he's got +1 defense, he's gone for the crossbows, and he's also throwing up that university like I thought he might. To go for the ballistics upgrade. He has to win this with the crossbows here. He's also going to be adding in a stable here. I imagine that's just to deal with the Mangonels. We probably won't see many upgrades coming in on these knights at all, though we'll see about that once the first knight comes out. For now, though, I mean, I don't know if this monastery for BacT would be the best. Oh, wow. He's in. I thought the gate was up, but nope, he's in. Straight into the arms of the crossbows.
Yeah. Well, Slam is known for his quick walling, and there he just got himself a knight pick with that quick walling, but 2 Mangonels for BacT. And that is Slam's main gold. So he's going to have to retreat from that right now, and he's also going to have to take a fight. So we might see some micro from Slam, which he is known for.
Yeah, this is so smart, actually, by BacT to add the monks, because actually the biggest weakness to these Mangonels right now is going to be these knights. The knights, though, do pick the monk before conversion comes in. RNG not in BacT's favor, unlike Slam last game, who seemed to have all the RNG. He'll pick up both of the Mangonels. Would he get both? I think he might get both. Yeah, he gets both, and he can just push this away.
Wow. That's unbelievable for Slam. 2 knights changing things, and everyone's like, stable? It's Celts? Why? Well, just to make a couple knights and just to pick off those important units, and now immediately tossing up a town center on the front. I think Slam may be safe now.
Yeah, the nice thing here as well for Slam is that a stable and a couple of knights is cheaper than a siege workshop and a couple of Mangonels. So he's definitely in a position where he can fight this army head on. The monks aren't going to be too much of a problem for his crossbows, as long as he keeps his knights well out of the way. As you can see, he didn't even do any upgrades on those guys. That's completely intentional. Oh, Mangonel out. Will Slam be able to pick it out? Oh, yeah. There you go. What were you OGsing at? The south?
Even paying attention to that. Oh, no, I was saying OGs because I was expecting a huge Mangonel shot, and I got completely let down. But look at the south.
Well,
we even have a woo-woo-woo in there as well. Jeez, this is a mess for Slam.
Yeah, it's pretty messy down here. A couple of vills getting very low. 1 will go down. 2 will go... No. Okay. Well, 2 should go down. Here we go. The wolf. Wolf's going to finish the job. Come on. Oh, so close. 1 health. That villager is a hero. Okay, he's finally been killed. It's taken him some time, but BacT, he's broken in through the south. That was a nice play by him to come around the other side here. But yeah, he did lose a Mangonel for free up in the north, and Slam's still in a pretty decent position. His eco is being very disrupted, though, and actually, I think I'm a little concerned for his wood at the moment. He does need to get... What is he doing? Where are these villagers going?
Geez. This is perfect for BacT, and it was before this happened as well. All these villagers going down. What is Slam doing here? It's not often you see players at this level make a mistake like this, but he was already behind, in my opinion, with economy because a couple TZs up for BacT, but that is just a nightmare for him.
Yeah, that was pretty sucky. I don't know why he let the Vills out so soon. I mean, the thing is, they were all grouped up underneath the TC, and then suddenly it's like, okay, back to work. Oh wait, I forgot to kill BacT's army first, and suddenly a lot of villagers going down there. 67 pop for Slam, and BacT on 77. But just look at BacT's army size; it's minuscule in comparison to Slam. BacT actually adding in his third TC, and I've got no doubt that BacT is quite far ahead on Vills right now. And, you know, if he gets a couple of nice shots with these mangonels, he could very easily flatten a lot of these crossbows in here as well. BacT looking to take a fight now as he moves the knights in. He's got fully upgraded defense and bloodlines, so he's actually in a position to take a fight here as the mangonels come out. Oh, great shot. That is beautiful. That is beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
One more. Nah. Not going to happen.
That's all he needed, though. Slam has been back at his base this entire game. One more shot would have been great, actually, but if you're BacT, you're really happy. Not only did he kill those crossbows, and not only does he have the map control, but that Siege Workshop is saved. He was going to lose that, and he can still make mangonels on the front. So this is a good position for BacT. His population now rising above, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm on the right player's point of view, 80. And he's on 3 TCs back at home, and still he's been untouched.
Yeah, that was a really nice engagement for him. Another mangonel coming out, and Slam's going to just get out the way. But these knights, man, with +2 defense bloodlines, with catching the crossbow out in the open, they were able to get a lot of damage done right there. Slam now down to 61 pop, whilst BacT is on 80, so it's a pretty big difference right there. And as we said before, we do expect that BacT will have a much larger eco at this stage with those 3 TCs up and running. And Slam's still just on the... Oh, no. My bad, he has added a third on the left side, but I think it was considerably later than BacT. Also losing a few villagers earlier on as well, so not good.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, Slam now should know at this level, I need to push back. I can't just defend because BacT is probably on 2 or 3 TCs. On the right side, not looking pretty for Slam again, as still knights there from BacT, just being a pest. But I'm just curious if Slam's going to be able to do anything here. He's obviously going into crossbows, but there are mangonels on the front. He's going to have to fight, and he doesn't have a lot of resources to put into knights and crossbows as it is because he's trying to get his economy back up. So this has been well played from BacT. I did not expect the Forge Siege Workshop and Monks to work so well, but still, those buildings are sitting there, and still he is killing villagers. This is great.
Yeah, absolutely. This is looking really nice for BacT. He's definitely got the map control in his favor, and that's going to work well as the game goes on. As we spoke about earlier on in this game, you know, map control on this kind of map is really important, especially when your additional gold piles are quite far out from your starting position. I love how he's just running these knights around, and they've got about 12 health between them, but they're still just keeping Slam busy, chasing him all around his base, making sure that, of course, he's not pushing out and grouping them together on the front. Now, Slam, I mean, doing basically what the Celts do. I mean, the Celts don't have that many options in the Castle Age, really. But, you know, I feel like maybe if Slam... maybe even adding some monks of his own earlier on would have been a better option here. But it's difficult. It is difficult. He was really relying on just having a solid mass of crossbows to be able to deal with these knights, but... a couple of bad fights, a couple of bad mangonel shots, and BacT really getting himself into a great position here as he starts to raid on the left side as well, finding a couple more villagers and getting out of there by the looks of things.
Yeah, this is just a brilliant display of map awareness. Nilly and, well, myself, but maybe I wasn't as outspoken about it. We were both so critical of BacT in the first game because, you know, Slam did have a good base to defend with, but here BacT has put on a show. On the right-hand side earlier, he stopped that TC, and now he knows there has to be another one, so he looked to the left. His scouting, if you look at his Fog of War, Zach, he can see there's no other wood lines in the back, like maybe where that market would be. Nothing generated there. So he has to know that these TCs are going to be outside these walls, and he is not stopping with the pressure.
Yeah, I like that a lot, and actually Slam's third TC is super exposed on this left-hand side. As I say that, BacT is moving over with a couple of mangonels, a ram, and a bunch more knights. Now, BacT has really invested heavily into this Castle Age aggression, and I absolutely think that is the right thing to do. Now, I mean, he could have let his foot off the gas. He could have, like, stopped military production or slowed it down and gone to the Imperial Age, but instead, he's just keeping the foot on the gas. I think he's got 3 stables for his knights right now, sending them over 3 at a time. He's got quite a bit of siege, a good number of monks, and BacT could take down this TC here, which would just be devastating to Slam, maybe a final blow even. And oh, great shots with the mangonels onto the crossbows. Didn't kill any, but got them incredibly low. And meanwhile, I think BacT here just putting himself into a winning position for sure.
Yeah, you know you're in a good position when you can sit underneath a TC full of villagers for 2 minutes and just hang out. The monks were a brilliant move, though, because he expected Slam would go with that stable, and Slam went with the stable. BacT didn't even see it. So ever since then, he's been continuing to make the monks, and they've been picking off these knights. And Slam is making to take out the mangonels, and that could mean this TC on the left will go down.
Yeah, and you know, Slam making his own monks here as well, but it's only 1 or 2 conversions here or there, and oftentimes it's not being enough. Slam opting to delete the knight instead of letting it get converted back. And Mangonel here from BacT doing a lot of work onto this TC, killing a lot of villagers as well, and all this at the same time. Slam not actually collecting any resources with those vills. BacT continuing to raid all over the map. Look at these villagers trying to run back towards the TC, but as you said before, BacT can set under these TCs without really too much care in the world. And I love how he's just been so aggressive in the Castle Age, didn't really let up at any point, and he's pretty close to being able to click up to the Imperial Age, but at the same time, he's adding in another 3 stables, and he's like, right, let's just finish this now.
Yeah, I think he knows he's far ahead. If you look at the score, not even close. Players do glance at that every now and then. 76 population for Slam, and BacT is what, 150, 145. Oh, yeah. So just an unreal game from BacT, and I don't see Slam coming back from this one.
No, I don't either. This TC on the left side is going to go down, and Slam, I don't think he can actually repair it because he has no wood left, so he's got to run away, and he's running those villagers into the knights. Slam going for the desperation castle here on the left side, and I was going to say earlier on, actually, you know, Slam could have really benefited from having a castle a little earlier on. I mean, imagine if he'd have been able to get a castle out to protect this TC on the left side, maybe somewhere on this hill towards the north, but unfortunately for Slam, that castle's going to come too late. The TC on the left side is going to go down. Massive villager losses on there as well. And Slam here calling the GG, giving it to BacT. And I just love that BacT added in these extra stables at the end and queued them out. It's like, I don't need the Imperial Age. Look at this. I'm all over this now.
Yeah, it's just a show of confidence there from BacT. Because normally you'd want to be thinking about the Imperial Age upgrade, saying, oh no, I don't want to invest too much into this attack. Nah, just kill everything. Not even worry about it. Well played, BacT.
Yeah, that was a very well played game. I mean, the civilization matchup, I mean, what do you think about that? If we look at BacT's tech tree, just to remind ourselves what happens there, the villagers move 10% faster. That's an indirect farm bonus. Stable units cost 15% less in the Castle Age. Those 2 things combined make them a fantastic knight civ, and they really are a force to be reckoned with. For the Celts, I mean, knights aren't really an option for them. They don't have the best knights at all. Obviously, lacking bloodlines, it would have just been a bad trade every time for Slam. I feel like maybe the better option for Slam was to go a bit heavier onto the monks. Obviously, the Celt monks also pretty weak as well, so I feel like civ-wise, maybe that was just a real good civ choice for BacT in that one.
It's a good civ choice for his decision, that's for sure. As we get ready to hand this over to Nilly, Slam was counting on the fact that his lumberjacks would collect faster and that his siege would fire faster. So he figured I can defend with mangonels easier and I can make more crossbows and just play macro, just build up my economy. But BacT did the right thing, didn't let him do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, I mean, the siege bonus only really helps if your opponent's going archers. And of course, we didn't see a single archer from BacT that game. But anyway, we're going to throw it over to Nilford now, and he's going to give us his analysis.
Oh, feels so bad. Zach stealing my job here. Yeah, he was absolutely on point. Celts versus Berbers means Berbers will go for mass knights, as Zach just showed it. Having better farms, having cheaper knights means they can go for a lot of aggression. And what did Slam do to counter that? He went for expos only. Probably not the greatest decision, if you ask me. I also wanted to see monks a bit earlier. Maybe even transition into some pikemen later on. But yeah, he made it quite reasonable of a defense. And now he's taking a very good fight here. Trying to out micro. The knights are getting the monk. Beautiful move. Getting the magnals as well. And looked pretty nice to that point. And Slam was behind 2 villagers at that very moment. Shortly before we started this replay. But now he's doing something very risky. And BacT, look at that. He was attacking at the front the whole time. But he had the skirmishes and the scout at the right hand side. And Slam was trying to expand here at this very moment. We did try to see a Mangler shot at the top. And suddenly, Slam, losing so many villagers and can't really get the CC up. Knights now coming in. And Slam's trying to evacuate them. But since he only has 1 TC and had this amount of villagers and all those farmers, not all the villagers actually fit into the TC. And look at that, so many villagers dying here. And yeah, BacT with +2 defense, sees his option, is going for it, is sniping more and more villagers. And now Slam even sending his villagers back into the knights again. And after this, if we pause, I checked the villager stats. He was behind 19 villagers here. Suddenly, from basically break even. Yeah, he still has a bit more army, but it's crossbowmen, which are so weak against everything BacT could build. He's going for full knights. He's going for a 30 TC. He has +2 defense. And now Slam simply does not have the eco to make a real transition into pikemen. He went into some monks, but yeah, not the eco to keep up with the production of BacT. And BacT evening it out to 1-1.